Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Are stocks worth buying? Assets pay you, and we're about to earn more. We're going to talk about something other than stocks tonight. And of course, we're going to talk about stocks as well. But again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only chat that can be in the chat room. And I have a call coming in, but we're going to have to mute this real quick. And just so you know, again, members with the icon can only be in the chat room tonight. But we're talking about assets. We're talking about earning money. We're talking about stocks as well. We're talking about financial freedom. That's what's happening this year. And don't forget our mantra: buy a home in 2024. Just not yet. Wait about another 7, 8 months, 6 months, 4 months, 6 months from now, at least. Wait till then. Optimal time may be later than that, but at least wait. Don't panic. Don't do anything because mortgage rates have decreased to suck you in. So we're going to talk about all this tonight. And once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Stop struggling now. Gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here once again. And please share the videos because you never know who you will be able to help. And you don't even know if anyone's looking for additional financial freedom, financial income, extra streams of revenue to come in. You just never know because people normally don't ask. They put their nose to the grindstone and they have so many things to do. But if somebody said, hey, do you want to make extra streams of revenue? Do you want to make it passively where you don't have to put in the work? Sometimes, just sometimes they'll say yes. All right. Well, let's get the rules straight tonight. First off, if you can't get in the chat room, that's because you're not a member of the channel. Only members on Wednesday night can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch. Everybody can comment after the video plays and does the replay. But during our live stream, only members with the icon can be here in the chat room. And look who's here first. Laverne Penix. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon naturally. Thank you so much for your support. And he says his tagline: hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. And I received a notification and trailer. Thank you so much for letting me know. And anybody in the chat room tonight, please let me know if you have seen the trailer and received the YouTube notification. I know they're light on that. They give out less than 10%. That's right. We have 14,000 subscribers plus, and they only give out like 1,100, 1,200, 1,500 notifications. And even then, they don't give out notifications. So once again, thank you so much for being here, Laverne Penix. And he's known as Mr. Cool here in the SSN Nation. All right. Now, don't forget to smash that like button. We're going to get into some things tonight. First of all, did you guys see the stock market today? Did you see the stock market yesterday and the day before that? Again, I believe that it's 1929 and 1932. We're going to have up weeks, and then it's going to be back down once they realize, oh my goodness, our earnings, the money's not coming in. We have to lay people off. So are stocks worth buying now? Some people would say yes after Tesla. Yes, Tesla went from almost $105 up to about $145 now in a matter of like 2 weeks. Most people thought it was dead. I received emails where people were saying it was going to go under $100. I had to inform them not only under 100. I don't know where people were thinking 85. I don't know where that number came from because that would have been a bit much. Under 100, first of all, was a bit much. Under 140 was a bit much. That was in the buy zone, as everybody knows here because we've talked about it. When I said it under 140, it's in the buy zone. When it dropped to 130, oh, it's in the buy. And when it was at 110, it definitely was in the buy zone. And when it was around 108, 107, 106, 105, it was clearly underpriced. Now it's back up to 145. But will they drop again? Because competition is here. We don't know, but a lot of people are liking that 40% increase on their money, 30% increase on their money. I'm not one of them. I didn't buy it 105, 110, 110. I'm around 117. So we'll take the 20% almost if it goes up a little bit more in a matter of weeks. We love that number. We're loving it right now. All is good. Laverne Penix has been doing dollar cost averaging. That's one of his favorite stocks he's been tracking this year or the last few months. Victor Marrero, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday live stream where it's members only like you with the icon that can be in the chat room tonight. So anyhow, also let me know if everybody can hear me clearly. This is day 2 of the new mic. I did a little replay and it was weird, but Victor Marrero brings in his tagline. Hello all, let's do this. And we're doing it. And by the way, Victor Marrero, I have to give him credit. We talked about an ETF 2 years ago that was Drive, DRIV. We didn't mention it. I didn't mention it for probably a year. But Victor Marrero, to his credit, mentioned it like 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe even 4 weeks ago. Drive. 3 to 4 weeks ago until now, DRIV, that's autonomous driving ETF, has went up over 20%. So if you would have been here on one of the live streams where Victor Marrero dropped one of these gems, you would be very, very happy with 20 to 25% return. I'm just saying, you never know what you're going to miss when you're not here on these live streams, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank you again, Victor Marrero, for dropping that one. And he also dropped some other ones, the oil companies, XOM, COP. All these guys are also up over the last few weeks. Funny how everything works out. If you pay attention, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Can the Fed stave off a meltdown from the stock market after all these layoffs and underperforming companies due to, expected earnings? I don't know, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Opportunity is here, ladies and gentlemen. And for everybody that wants to get into crypto, well, you know how it always works. Once it starts rising, people for some reason think it's time to buy. But when it was down another 10, 15, 20%, everybody was like, no, I'm not buying. Okay, well, here we go again. A nice little roller coaster up for stocks, crypto, gold, and silver. Everybody's loving life right now. I don't want to hear investors. Are stocks worth buying? Okay, here's the quick answer. Yes, they are worth buying. And why? When stocks are down 60, 70%, come on. You really expect them to go to 80 or 90% like crypto? It's not going to happen. They're real companies out here, ladies and gentlemen. But 60 or 70% is the equivalent of 95 to 99% in crypto. So now may be a good time to buy some, like electric vehicle stocks, like DRIV, so things, even though it is autonomous driving, but still, nonetheless. Tesla apparently is resilient, but that's only a few. But what about the Microsofts, the Apples, the Amazons? Those were cheap, still are cheap, losing 60, 70% of their values. I don't know what more an investor could want. Well, I do know. You would want dividend stocks too, where you have that money because they dropped also 50%. So therefore, you could get a great return like 14, 15, 16, 18, 20% return on your money until they stop paying dividends and the money's still liquid. That's what you got to love about stocks. Your money, you can make an investment, you can always sell it. A home, well, you can buy a home, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can always sell it in a timely manner. So if some emergency happened tomorrow or next week, you can't just put your house on the market and sell it in 2 days and have cash in hand in 2 or 3 days. That's not going to happen. All right. So stocks, it's liquid. Crypto, liquid. Your money that should not be in a bank, liquid. Now, there's something that I should talk about here because I've omitted it over the last few days. You guys already know the story, though, and I gave warnings over the last 4 years about Bank of America and Wells Fargo stealing my money in the 80s. So this is not a new phenomenon for me. That's why I don't keep money in a bank. And so now people are finding out once again, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these guys, their ATM machines aren't working. So people are going down to the ATM and they're like, wait, what's going on? This is happening, ladies and gentlemen. All good for the SSN Nation family. I never give up on Tesla. I know you were saying DCA and all the way. You are DCAing all the way from 300, 250, 200, 150, 125, 106. I know your policy. You're doing the damn thing. I keep doing the DCA thing. I'm also doing the Bitcoin, Ethereum with Fidelity. They are on fire. Yes, they're rising 5, 10, 15, 20, 30%. Unbelievable. Okay, it's great. And once again, SSN Nation family, you get what it says on the t-shirts here. We even have the blue one. Where is it? Over here. Yeah. Emerging millionaires are in the house. All you have to do is pay attention, even if you don't want to buy stocks. Okay, I get you. Even if you don't want to buy real estate, okay. We're giving you the keys to the castles, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take it. But most people want to make that fast money. We can't do that right now. So once again, we're going to have something new today. In fact, not really new. I've talked about this before because are stocks worth buying? Hell yes. It's 60, 70, 80% off. Yes. Go do your due diligence and buy some stocks. We mentioned a couple here tonight, just Tesla. Okay, I know I mentioned my usual dividend stocks, which everybody should know by now, but I'll throw in a PSEC. P as in Paul, S as in Sam, E as in Eric, C as in Charles. That'll get you around 10% return. Then we'll talk about AGNC, a REIT. A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles. That'll get you at this point probably around 14%. IEP, which is the Icon stock. That's I as in India, E as in Eric, P as in Paul. That'll get you around 15% around now. That's Carl Icahn. Check it out. This is an annual return I'm referring to. So that's just for starters. GNL, Global Net Lease. They invest in office buildings, corporations type places, and they have leases. So that gets you around 12 to 13% return annually. You have several options. ORC, you're going to be roughly around 14, 5, 15% at this price point. So there's your stocks worth buying as far as dividends. But if you want to go with long term, then you got to go with the big boys, the tech stocks, the guys that own other companies, other subsidiaries underneath them. And oh, by the way, let me know about the mic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if everything's okay, if everything's coming through loud and clear, because I have changed the mic. Unfortunately, with the new upgraded mic, it's like I have to wear headphones to monitor the sound because I can't do it the old-fashioned way. So I won't unless I put on headphones, which I don't really have headphones. I have the earbuds. All right, let's get going tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because assets pay us. And so when I buy stocks, they pay us, right? Dividend stocks, that is. They pay us. So we're going to stay with this theme tonight. Now, the theme keeps going like this. I've mentioned it several times. You know something about royalties and publishing, and in the music business, publishing, royalties, mechanical rights, which now they don't make records hardly anymore. So mechanical rights doesn't mean much. But you have these royalties that come in every single month from an artist, from a person that writes books. And so I figured tonight, why don't I talk about my very own, my brother's books? He has Star Cruiser Falcon 1. All right. That's what it's called. In fact, I'm going to show this on Amazon. And there's a link down below if anybody wants to check it out, because you know what? Quite frankly, it's just support because it's on the Kindle. And so therefore, it's not even that expensive, quite frankly. And you'll notice that the author's name is Duran Drake. That's right. So here is the first edition. All right. Here's the first edition. And on Kindle, as you can see, it says 0. But I'm sure that's if you sign up with Kindle. Thank you so much, Victor Morel. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. And if everybody just arrived, I want to let you know, if you can't get in the chat room to say anything, that's because you have to be a member of the channel with the icon like Victor Marrero has next to his name. You cannot just be a subscriber, but please kindly smash that like button so the YouTube guys know that we're here making things happen. So what I want to talk about is books. Duran Drake, Star Cruiser Falcon. This is the first edition. It's on Kindle right now. There's a link down below to go to Amazon to pick this up and check it out. The reason I'm mentioning this, not only can you get royalties from the book being published, made, but you get to continue it by simply having it on Amazon and other outlets, even on the Kindle and other outlets where people constantly will buy this book. Now, I'm going to give you guys a story. As I leave this on the screen, I have plenty of stories. So I'm in Sacramento, and I'm trying to think what exactly the situation was, but it was advertising. So I'm going up to, I think it's Grass Valley or somewhere like this. And I go in the office, and I'm a single guy, and I roll in this office, and there's like this most beautiful woman in the office. And she says, "How can I help you?" And I'm just like, "I'm here to do some advertising." But as a young man, I'm sitting there in my head going, man, fireworks are going off. Like, good grief, what's going on up here? I'd have come up in this neighborhood a lot sooner. So anyhow, I get an invite after we do business. And then a couple months later, I get an invite. She says, "Come on up, hang out." I go to her house, and then she goes, we're sitting there, and she starts talking about, "Hey, what kind of movies you like?" And I said, "Well, action, science, sci-fi, action type stuff, that's always cool." So then she goes and says, "Oh, well, do you read sci-fi books?" She goes to her closet, and guess what? She pulls out my brother's book, Star Cruiser Falcon, first edition. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, because as you see, it's Duran Drake. It doesn't have my last name. So that was very, very wild when that occurred. And also, the reason I'm telling you this is because you never know who's going to buy books, who's going to read Kindles, who's going to find whatever you produce in a book format. It's very, very interesting. And so to this day, even though the book has been out for over 20 years, he still receives money for it, whether it's on the Amazon, whether it's for the royalties for the publishing and all that. So this is something that is very, very interesting. If you should want to write books like one of our own here, Melody Bonita, Miss 27 Streams of Income, you can go to Amazon and pull off her books as well. So the first book is written. So that's fair enough, right? But there's a second. There's not just one. There's a second book as well. And since I'm in the house, paperback edition, as you can see on the screen here. Look it. We have one in the house. Several, by the way. But I figured I would show you this one since I have it in my hot little hands. But this is it. What you see on the screen. Star Cruiser Valken 2. All right. So just like a good novel, it's like you go, hey, just like when John Wick series comes out. And I'm like, why isn't Keanu Reeves and why aren't these guys making another one? Why are they waiting 4 or 5 years to make the second? Well, actually, they've already made it. But why are they waiting 4 or 5 years to release these movies? They're awesome. Well, this is the same thing. Duran Drake hasn't produced the third yet or released the third. So there's the second option. So you get book 1 and book 2. Show some support and some love for the fam. All right. So I just had to show this because we're talking royalties. We're talking rights after you've done this. Years down the line, you're still receiving. That's an asset, ladies and gentlemen. Assets pay us over time. All right. So I just want to let you know, this is part of assets. So if you want to write books, you want to dictate books, then you can also receive long-term money, whether it's $20, $30, $50 a day. It does not matter. It's something you've already done, and you still receive some payments for it. That is exactly what you want. Passive income after you put in the work. It's almost like this. How many of you would have loved to put in work every month at your job? And at the time that you leave, whether you left in 4 years, whether you left in 20 years, wouldn't it have been nice if all of a sudden they said, oh, hey, this work that you've done has a value. So whenever somebody buys this in the future, you get a return. Every time somebody buys what you boxed up at Campbell's Soup, canned up and sent out the boxes, and every time somebody buys again, you get to receive something. That would be awesome. But that's not how the world works, right? So writing books, making music, all goes in the same vein where you receive royalties. Whatever you put out in the universe, just like YouTube. When we put out these videos, yes, the shelf life may only be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 6 months, or 2 days. But if you keep putting out a lot of them, then maybe 1, 2, or 3, or 4 videos do what they call in this industry evergreen. It keeps going and going, and you receive checks every week, or every month, sorry, get checks every month from something you've done 2, 3, 4 years ago, which is in the case of me. I receive a little bit from some videos that were produced 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So that is beautiful work if you can get it. That's all I can say about that. Now, here we go. Let's get into something else that a lot of people may not understand. So let's go on to this. I'm going to show you this. I'm not even going to really talk about it because I did talk about music, right? So let's go to Royalty Exchange. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Royalty Exchange. This is where artists, that's right, this is a thing. This is where artists are willing to give up some of their, well, normally not publishing. Not really. It's some other royalty, but I'm going to show you this tonight because just like you can invest in the stock market, you can invest in some of music rights. So here's royaltyexchange.com. I'm just going to go to the listings. Let's just go cut to the chase. So you can see what I'm talking about. This is an asset class unto itself that a lot of people don't understand, did probably not know that this was available. I made a video about this, I don't even know, a year, one video. Most people did not pay attention to it. But all I'm saying, see, this is Jaden and Miley Cyrus streaming. This is on multiples of almost 10. So it made in a year $2,863. That's not much. Some people would say that's not much, Eric. I get you. 30 year is what this is. They're giving up 30 years. So they're saying, and I'll show you here on the screen, they're asking for a certain price, right? Some people are saying, hell no. That's 10 years to make back my money if the earnings stayed the same. Well, everybody knows over time you earn less. So they want a multiple of almost 10. They're asking 27,000. But see, there's some people apparently have put in 17,000. They didn't take it. 18,300 didn't take it. 19,000 didn't take it. So here's the thing. Here's streaming, as you can see on the screen here, right? And so streaming is nothing major. Most people don't realize this. These guys are getting whacked when it comes to streaming services. It's like a penny, so it doesn't really matter. So this is one of the reasons why these guys are offering some of these lower end royalties. But here's the thing. I'm going to have to change the screen because it wouldn't show, but here's where I was. It opened a new window. 2,863 is the last 12 months. It's going to go down over time, but they're asking for this multiple right now. And quite frankly, the people that were down here offering 17, 16, 18, 7, they were more in the ballpark because they understand how music works. The streaming is going to slow down, and the streaming is only $1,000 of it. International sources, if they're keeping that in, is very interesting for the month. But I mean, $1,000 for the month, sorry. And this is all of the earnings that they're receiving. All right. So this is what is going on. And somebody just made an offer over here, $23,000. Somebody did $22,500. Apparently, they may reach. Seller is willing to go to $26,000. So this is how musicians say, forget about me waiting on these little royalties. Give me my 10X. I'm out the door because this isn't anything major. But for some people, somebody's bidding on it, $23,000. They feel it's worth it. Even though it shows right here, 12 months earnings, it says 2863. 3-year average earnings, 2816. And they're saying 30 years left. And here's the thing about music. It's a catalog too. This is what people have to understand. This is why people are bidding on this, because it has the name Miley Cyrus, right? But here's some other things. On My Own, Do My Thing, Heaven's Gate, The Hottest, right? All of these are included. So somebody's willing to say, you know what? I'm going to give you, like right here, $23,000. Now, I'm not mad at them, because the way music works is the way I'll create another story for you. All right. I'll give you the story, because I ran into my boy's email today, H.M. Coakley. All right. Coakley makes movies. And so we're acquaintances. I know him. And I can't remember, one day we were talking on the phone and he says something to the effect of, hey, Eric, I have this movie I'm making. And this is a few years ago. It was called, I can't remember the movie, But anyhow, he says, I'm making the movie. And I say, okay, what's going on? He goes, man, I can't get any music for the movie. I'm like, what are you saying? He goes, well, everybody wants me to pay for the rights. So therefore, we're on because he's an independent filmmaker. So he doesn't have the millions of dollars. He doesn't have the big budget type of thing, even though he does have a star usually in the movie. But the thing is, he didn't have the big budget. And he's like, I can't pay, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. So anyhow, so I'm friends with Miss Sassy Carter, and she was on, I believe, Universal, Warner Brothers, Universal, whatever that relationship was. So anyhow, we're friends, and she had a new single coming out, or new album she was making. And so then I told him, I said, hey, man, as long as are you giving up? You're going to have to give up all the rights. If somebody's going to do something, you can't take any of the rights, and you're going to have to pay a little bit of money and all that. But I'm pretty sure I think they have like songs in the can. She's got at the time she had like 30 songs that she made, and she wasn't going to release them. She didn't have them copywritten or anything yet. So I said, hey, man, why don't I talk to her, and I'll send you over some tracks that she's willing to just pretty much give away. And just as long as we sign everything and says you don't get any of the royalties or anything like that. So he listens to the tracks, calls up. He goes, I want one of these to put in the movie. So then she had to go get everything ready with ASCAP and all them guys. But the point of the matter is, you just never know who's looking for something, because I'm not in the movie business or the music business. It's just that me and him were talking, and he says, hey, I need some music for this movie I'm making. And I haven't found anything that fits. So he listened to it, found one. Now, every time that movie's streamed, played, checks are coming to her. That's it. It's beautiful. So that's it. H.M. Cokley. In fact, it's like the barbecue cookout. I can't remember the name of the movie. Let me go find it. It was it was out a while ago. He also made a couple horror movies. I'm gonna pull it up now. Let's see. Latest one, Holla. That's not the one I'm talking about. That's not the one I'm talking about. This is Cleaver Family Reunion. That's the one. Early 2000s. So now and it's streamed sometimes. So checks are written, ladies and gentlemen, from something that happened 15 to 20 years ago. So I just want you to think about this. So something that you're producing, you could actually receive money from. So what I'm getting at is, when we start talking about an opportunity to purchase royalties, and somebody says, well, I'm going to pay $23,000. Okay, that's fair enough. But I'm going to go down here and look at something like this. Here's a 10-year. This is Drama by Roy Woods featuring Drake. Okay, most people have heard of Drake. Hardly anybody's heard of this dude, Roy Woods. But the fact that Drake is on here, it's only a 10-year. They're only giving up 10 years worth of royalties. But I want to show you something. Last 12 months, $39,000. All right. Expiration date, January 26, 2033. They're only giving up 10. Here's some offers. After you look at this, I'm just going to open this just so you guys can. Oh, we're not getting offers. Are we? They didn't close this out. But anyhow, here we go. We know it's doing 39,000. They want, I can't remember exactly what they wanted, even though we looked at it. But here's the thing. Mechanical, nothing major. Public performance, okay. Sync, all right. And internet streaming and all that, again. But TV, film, commercial placements, and performances, the fact that Drake's in there means in the next 10 years, potentially Somebody's going to put it in a movie. Somebody's going to put it in a commercial. Somebody's going to play around with that. So all I'm trying to say is, I wish I could open this up, but I can't. I wanted to see what somebody was offering, if there were any offers. There are no offers. Oh, I got to log in. I see what they're doing to me. All right. So let me find. I'm gonna do something else though, because let me see if I have it here. That's Miley Cyrus. So I'm gonna go back. I want to see something that's similar to like Miley Cyrus. Oh, I know who it is. I'm going to tell you guys who I'm going to. This is going to be down here. 30 years. Oh, it's not opening anymore. Okay, I got to sign in. But 12 months, it's only $1,000. All right. This is very, very interesting. Buy now for $9,000. He wants a 9 times, almost another 10 times the value, which it's not worth that. And then when we show offer history, people are doing half of that, which would make more sense for an ordinary investor. Then somebody said 6, rejected. Somebody said 7,400, rejected. All I'm trying to illustrate is they've made music. Yes, they're giving off some of their royalties, but not the bulk, and they're getting paid up front. So I just want you to consider some other ways that people accumulate assets. So these are actually assets for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, when I showed this Drake, for instance, and here's Cardi B, by the way, songwriter royalties. What happens when 3 years, 2 years, 4 years later, all of a sudden it's being played in a movie, played in a commercial, played in something on TV that people hear and they do a skit or something. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden it bumps up. Or heaven forbid, you know how it always works. If an artist passes away, all of a sudden sales go through the roof. Same kind of thing. So that's why some people would say, okay, Cardi B, known name. Griffin, not so known. Right? So I don't think it's going to open up because I think I have to log in. But again, we can see it here. She wants another almost 10 multiple. Nobody, well, I shouldn't say nobody. Somebody might give it to her. Why? Because it's life of the rights. And this is Cardi B, and using her music is probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. But here's, notice she's getting upfront 10 times her multiple. If somebody pays $200,000, no offers. If somebody pays $200,000, that's a lot of money up front. This is what we call leverage. So again, there's a lot of people out here making music. There's a lot of people that don't understand, once you make music, you can actually monetize it in different ways. You don't have to be a superstar, and you can still monetize it. So look at some of these people that you may, like, I never really heard of Griffin. Never heard of Blizzy, whoever, songwriter featuring Blizzy, 10 years. DJ Todd, he's asking for $260,000. And he has an offer for the life of rights at 170. So instead of him waiting 10 years, how long would it take? Six years to get his 170. He's going to, well, he didn't take the 170 apparently, but somebody might offer him 200,000. They might even get closer, because by rights, he should get 260, because he's given up it's life of rights. So it's continual. So he probably should get his 10 multiple. So therefore, look at this, 170,000. He's probably going to reject that. And what's going to end up happening? Somebody's going to offer maybe 190. Somebody's going to offer 200, because this is pretty serious right now. And because he's a DJ, once again, what happens if over the life of time somebody plays or spins one of his mixes? Now all of a sudden we have a situation where you're going to earn more than what you're earning right now. A reboot, so to speak. 20 offers made, 20 rejected, but $200,000 is nothing to sneeze at. where he'd have to wait at least 8 years to get that. So why not get it now if you can? So he's giving off a little bit of his royalties or public. Well, it's royalties mostly. So I just want to get you guys on the thought process. Leverages. I can buy and still earn. Now, the only thing about the royalty game is, or publishing, is that your money's locked when you buy it. It's not liquid. The only thing liquid is similar to our debt box. Only thing liquid is similar to the cash flow NFT. When they pay out the commission, in this case, royalties, that's what you're going to receive. You can't just go, hey, I need back that $200,000 and you can have this back. No, that's not how it works. Once you put your money in, it's gone. And so what you receive is what's coming in. And so DJ Todd Terry, pretty good, giving up his life or rights. He's going to make, well, I think he's going to make $250,000 simply because the numbers dictate that. If he's making 20, even if he's making $20,000 a year, which he's making more than that in royalties right now, you figure it's going to be that way for about another 3 years, and it'll probably start dropping a little bit off. All right. So just want to give you guys something to think about as far as assets go, because we always have to think outside of the box around here, right? And a lot of this is affordable for a few people. Now, how about you guys wanting to do something else? This here is another way, but this is different slightly. Songfest, SONGVEST. All right. So you can go another way, because this is a thing. This is a thing of the future. It's being like, it's almost like a stock offering is what's happening in the music business. So these artists who are big time artists, who have history, who have many, many albums, songs out. It's crazy, right? So let me show you something here. Explore the, oh, I keep forgetting. Hold on. Keep forgetting all these guys do. I want to show you something because this here is funny. Everybody knows who this woman is. When you just put her name down, it gets people's attention. So Songfest started out selling royalties, but now they're getting into the other game. All right. 70 plus compositions recorded by Beyonce, Keisha Cole, Missy Elliott, Monica, and more. When this comes out, that's going to be over $1 million. I guarantee you. All right. Now, here's a few just to give you a little taste. It looks more like R&B or rap, but look at this. Is you're buying shares. So I don't know if you guys know music, but this is Little Baby and Plies. All right. Both Florida guys. In fact, Plies is from Fort Myers area. Little Baby's from the other coast, Fort Lauderdale area. Or, well, actually, he's not from there, but he's hanging out there. But here you go. Check this out. This is like you're buying shares. They call units. They're calling it song shares. This is actually royalties as well, but it's different because look at this over here on the right-hand side. You're buying a unit for $100, just like if you went and bought a stock. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. They have it out here where it's only $8 per unit. That's why this is interesting and kind of comical at the same time, because over the course of 12 months, that only equals around $100. So if that's per unit, is that a deal? Well, it all depends, because once again, you're going to be caught up into what's happening with these songs. And if there's an uptick because of some strange reason, next thing you know, you have money coming in. So that's the $1 million question, right? But some people would say, yeah, give me a couple of shares if it's only $100, $200. I'll get a couple. So 10% of the song share goal. Drawing Symbols, never heard of this person. $9.48. Sold units is only 15. Now, I don't know when these came out. There's no clock. There's no ticker. So again, this is very interesting, but this is how it all starts out, ladies and gentlemen. and you get yourself a little bit of something. And then the next thing you know, you do this once, twice. And I don't know if anybody knows the story of Michael Jackson owning half of the Sony publishing. At one time, he had 50% of Sony ATV publishing. That included things like the Beatles, and why Paul McCartney and him had a falling out, because, you know, they're buddies, and he actually outbid him, because he's sitting at the house and he's telling him, hey, Paul, I'm gonna buy your publishing rights. And he's like, haha, right, whatever. And he did it on the back of his album sales, where mechanicals are big time. Back in the day, you had to press up the albums. So when they were selling 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million albums of Thriller, that was actual money in MJ's pocket. So he could borrow anything, because if you're getting $10 million per month, $120 million per year or more just off of one album sale, never mind the other albums, he can walk in anywhere. And that's why he was acting a fool. He could walk in anywhere and be like, hey, you can just give me all of this stuff in here. Well, how much is it? $10 million. I'll buy it. That's why he was doing it. But the fact of the matter is, this is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Did you see the, let me see if I have it up here. Okay. This is a different one. Invest in music. Build your portfolio of artists you believe in. Earn royalties with every stream. Okay. Streams are nothing. But Nas, view drop. Very interesting there. Nas is on here. Diplo. Once again, these are John Waltz. Okay. I don't know all of these artists, but again, some of you may know these guys. But look at this. Cheap stuff to actually get a piece of artists, so to speak. This is a whole different world, right? Whole different world that you can get involved with earning some of the royalties, which again, they're not spelling out which all the royalties are, which is probably something that would have to be discussed. But nonetheless, if we're talking streams, well, streams aren't anything major. Like I say, that I wouldn't, we're talking about 3 cents, 1 penny, 2 cents a stream. So you can do 1 million streams. That's not nothing. You can do 100 million streams. And okay, that might start to be something, right? You'll say, okay, Eric, now we're talking, right? You're going to have to do 100 million streams to make it significant, right? $1 million. But the fact of the matter is, can you believe that you can actually invest in artists early and receive some money for it? This is royal.io. All right. I just wanted to bring these out because you can leverage a little bit of money, and it's also a risk. Let's face facts, right? Music business is like that. It's a risk. Just because somebody's doing a song or an album or anything doesn't mean that it's going to be successful. It's a very hard to do. So what I want to do is, I didn't look at this earlier. I want to find out what's going on with Nas. I don't know what this is, what happened, but it looks like it's coming out. It's going to be $99. And it says, buy a token, unlock streaming royalties for single, rare, and exclusive extras from Nas. So it's almost like an NFT. So I don't know if this song has come out yet, but it looks like there's a video being made or has been made. I don't know anything about. Oh, average sale, 111. So this is what it's looking like. It was higher than this. It's come down, but we will see. Here's, they have different $4.99, gold, platinum, diamond. So once again, royal.io to come over here and check this out, ladies and gentlemen. So you can leverage a small amount of money, similar to what we do with SSN Lifestyle, where we do the small 250, 500, 1,000 to get the cash flow, 5,000 NFT. Doing the same thing, but they're doing it with music now on a different scale. But again, all these are risky. But if you have a major artist like Nas, the odds are your royalties are going to be coming through pretty good for a while. All right. Now, this one here is Diamond. This is $10,000. This is crazy. Streaming royalties, again, exclusive extras from Nas. Royalties, what royalties is what I want to know, because streaming royalties not going to be enough. Here it is, 7.3 million streams over the next 12 months. That's not going to be good enough. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, that's probably about right. Annual payout $14.77. They're talking about $1 million, 14. Yeah, but again, I won't get into the economics of it. That's for you guys to study. If you want to get in on some of these other assets that most people don't invest in because they don't know where to get it, so they're bringing it to the forefront. If you knew you can buy music publishing for artists from 20, 30, 40 years ago, and that's still generating money, whether it's being in movies, whether it's being in, like I say, commercials, whether it's still being streamed because there's Sirius Network, right? Sirius Radio, whether it's being streamed online from online radio, all of that, you're still receiving royalties, whoever's holding those rights. So again, these are assets that I had to bring tonight. Don't understand that we have opportunities all over that previously record companies and publishers like the Collins Group, book publishers, they're not sharing with you. But now the artists themselves, they're like, we don't want to go through you guys, because when you pay us, you're actually giving us a loan. Most people don't realize when somebody writes a book, when somebody's an artist and they sign with a label and somebody says, yes, they signed a $20 million deal, right? Well, what you don't understand is it's based on your sales. If you don't they recoup their money. So if they don't get back that 20 million, your money goes to the label. You got the 20 million, but it goes against when you're in the studio. It goes against when you get clothes, when they're giving you chains and houses and cars and all that. They're not giving you anything. It's yours in reality because that was a loan, and your music is going to pay back the loan. And if your music does not pay back the loan, then there's repercussions, such as you're dropped from the label. You might have to give back some of that stuff. And now you don't even own the rights to your music, because generally they're going to have your publishing. And they're going to have some other rights as well. So, and you already see the streaming, the writers and what they receive. It's not millions of dollars. That's the part that people don't understand. Notice they're not giving up their publishing, right? For 40, well, most cases, 50% of everything, 25% of everything, they're not giving up publishing. They'll give up royalties because those are kibbles and bits in reality, 10,000, 20,000, 5,000, 2,000. And still, for something you've done 3 years ago and you're getting $2 or $3 or $5 or $10,000 per month, you'll take it. All right. That's a great feeling, getting paid for something you did years ago, getting paid while you sleep. Hardest work is taking it to the bank. Great example. Thank you so much, Victor Marrero. That's it. We talked a little bit, we talk finances all the time. I said, let's go off here and then let people understand. And also, if anybody's new here, go check out Duran Drake, Star Cruiser Falcon 2. It's on Amazon. The links are down below in the description. Hit that more button, and then the description box opens up, and Duran Drake is my brother, so go check it out. Star Cruiser Falcon 1 is on Kindle, and the link is down below in the description for that one as well. And then if you want a paperback, hardback, or Kindle edition, go see and get Star Cruiser Falcon 2. But you can't get 2 without getting 1, right? 1 is cheap enough. $2.99, I think, is Kindle. 2 is like, well, I think the paperback, which I have. All right, here's the back. Paperback is, and so I released, there you go, Bird. All right. So show some love for the fam. Once again, Check it out. They're cheap enough, quite frankly. All right. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where we're talking wealth. And he has the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you too, Curtis Davis, otherwise known as Mr. Financial in these parts. I appreciate you being here. ABMM, always be making money, is what his tagline is. And what he means by that is go check him out. He has AKA also, not only Mr. Financial, but another AKA. Chili Davis gives out financial information every day. We just don't know when he's going to drop the information. It could be in the afternoon, in the morning, in the nighttime. You never know when he's going to drop some valuable financial news and information. So go check out his channel at Chili Davis and subscribe to his channel and watch a few videos. Show some love. Doesn't cost anything. All right. Here we go. MJ. Sorry. MJ Sony. Exactly. Sony ATV. That's it exactly. So, in fact, since I mentioned it, I'm gonna show. I'll just show it so people understand that things aren't really. It's not really complicated. They just make sure to keep it complicated because if you knew what was really going on, now you understand why all these labels, executives, and corporations, why they are flying around having a party, because all it takes is 2 or 3 artists doing millions of album sales during the course of a week. And the next thing you know, that means they've earned millions, not only from radio, not only from streaming, not only from some mechanical sales, not only from performances, because most artists now have 360 deals. So when they're going on tour, getting paid $5 million, the label's also getting a piece of that too. $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. It's crazy. So when they have a hit song and they're selling millions and they're on tour for a year and a half, selling t-shirts, selling whatever, NFTs now, all that, the label says, thank you very much. Thank God we had these few artists that sold millions because our other artists didn't sell nothing. We wasted money on them. So here's Sony ATV, just so you guys understand, Sony Music Publishing, world's #1 music publishing. And this is these guys. Here it is, the Beatles, Queen, Motown, Carole King, Leiber and Stoller, Leonard Cohen, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, the Rolling Stones, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Calvin Harris, Jay-Z, Luke Bryan, Mark Anthony. Did anybody recognize Rihanna? Travis Scott, Sean Love Combs, Puffy. All right, Daddy Yankee, Ed Sheeran. Anybody? Pharrell, just showed him. Now you guys understand if Motown, Marvin Gaye, Rick James, Miracles, come on. Diana Ross and the Supremes, come on. In fact, Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson, but the Jackson 5, crazy stuff. Is that Pink? Yes, it's Pink. Dolly Parton. This is crazy. This is crazy. BTS. Nile Rodgers with Chic. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. And the catalog that they have music playing every minute, every day, somewhere in the world. Several of their artists. It's out of control what Sony has, and they can actually buy up every other publishing group based on what they receive a check for. That's how they get larger. The bigger, the best, they get larger because they have the millions and they can borrow against their catalogs too. So, and their catalog is, I don't even know what it's worth. I have no idea, but I would think it's a few hundred billion with a B. easily. So anyhow, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it tonight, what I wanted to talk about. And also, please smash that like button so the YouTube gods know that we're in the house tonight. And show some love. If you want to become a member of the channel with the icon next to your name where you can join us on Wednesday night and the only ones that can be in the chat room, then please do so. And join us on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. So therefore, you'll get some more information. Again, this is I just have to say this. I wish this stuff was out like this 20, 30, 40 years ago. My God, can you imagine? You're like a 15-year-old kid in high school, and you're sitting there saying, hey, I like this artist. Look at this. They're on Songvest. I think I want to put in $100, $200 on one of their songs. I mean, instead of giving me those Air Jordans, just put in a couple $100 in this artist right here and give me some of his shares. Or let me buy some of this guy's royalties while I'm a kid for whatever, $500, $200, whatever. I'm just like, this is crazy when you really think about the world we live in now, that anybody has opportunities from so many different angles to take a chance on other people. Just like if you're a record label taking a chance and being able to 5 years from now, 8 years from now, having checks come in. And then, like I say, you never know what songs are going to be put in movies, TV shows, commercials. And the next thing you know, it takes a hit, it's a bump up. And the next thing you know, your royalty checks are even higher. Because that's what happens, because they're looking for hit songs usually. It's incredible. TLC. Oh, yeah, TLC. Exactly. Tell me about it. Method Man now acts he refused to go on tour with Wu-Tang Clan. Exactly. You guys, it's not what you think. These guys are out there. It's not like sports, right? There's a difference. When you play professional sports, you're under contract, you got paid. There is no recoup of anything. He's like making money somewhere else. Wu-Tang Clan is going out, but then when he goes out there, he has to give part of what they make, share it with other, not his partners there, but other entities. So he's like, okay, I'll show up when I show up, man. I make other money over here. So it's funny stuff. I hear you. LL Cool J owns all his publishing, by the way, and his masters. Now acts. Exactly. First of all, there's a misnomer in the music business. People think that artists make a lot of money. They do not. All the chains, all the cars, all that gloss and glamour, it's actually just like old Hollywood. You know, old Hollywood, what I mean is 1920s, 1930s, where they made it look a certain way. So they would call up their publicists and they would be like, hey, like, I'll use Marilyn Monroe, right? Marilyn Monroe's going out tonight. Who can we get to match up with her? We got to have that next leading man or somebody that's kind of cool. So when she goes out to eat, they go out. Now the press is there. They start talking, and she just so happens to have a movie coming out in about 2 months, right? They still do that to this day. All right. So same thing all the way around in the music business. The guys are running around with the chains, with the cars, doing crazy stuff. Ultimately going to have to sell, get rid of it, because once they stop producing and they don't have their deal, now they're getting paid these royalties, and they come in every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever, depending on the royalty, publishing, whatever. But the fact of the matter is they start going down. They're not able to maintain having a $250,000 car that costs $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 to maintain annually. They can't maintain the freaking big ass house that they bought that's like 8,000 square feet, right? Because now there's maintenance and upkeep that you can't recoup from that every month. So all of a sudden they got to sell all this stuff, got to do all this. So this is why it's very, very interesting that a lot of musicians, rappers turned into actors because, hey, they're sitting there saying, hey, we're going to give you $3 million to be in this movie. And they're like dealing with the record labels. They're like, I'll never see $3 million. And not only that, we're signing you for $3 million for this movie, and we're guaranteeing you that we're going to get you on a second movie, and that one's going to get you 3.5 million. They're like, well, forget me. Why am I going to the studio for? I'll just go act. Hell, let me be on a series where I can get paid $500,000 per week. You think I'm going to go back to writing music? Not going to happen until I'm done with acting. That's all I can say. Not going to happen. All right. Let me see. I lost the track, but yeah, Cool J, he has something from Def Jam that hardly anybody got back in the day. His masters and publishing. That's why he always has a smile on his face. Yes, opportunity. Eric, where are you getting your video music and sound effects from? I'm looking at Epidemic Sound. I don't get mine from there. Over 35K songs and very used with filters. Any thoughts? No, that's where most of the YouTubers are getting theirs from. I don't do that. I actually just use YouTube's. They have a gallery in the back. All right. So they have a gallery of music that is free to use, and there's thousands of songs on there. So that's some of the songs I use. And then, like when we have the intro and our theme music, as I call it, that one I just get the license directly from the artist, not through Epidemic Sound. I just go, the artists nowadays, this is a beautiful world we live in, they will actually sell a license, and they'll base it on lifetime. If you're going to put it on YouTube or Instagram or what, type of medium you're going to go through. And if you're going to put it, obviously, if you're going to put in a movie or commercial, then to license it for a movie or commercial, they're going to charge a lot more money. But if you're just talking about streaming like YouTube, Instagrams, and TikToks or something like that, they're $5 or something. And so lifetime, $5, $7, whatever the case may be. So I just go with them. I don't go use Epidemic Sound. But a lot of YouTubers do that, though. Nothing wrong with it. But like I said, on YouTube, you can just get free music when you're creating your download. You can add music and something will come up in the back office where you can, and then you can search for the music you want to add. You can do it that way. And so then what I do is I download, well, they allow you to download the track. So you have the music and it's free on YouTube. So I don't even bother. That's why I don't bother with Epidemic Sound. And they have genres that you can choose. So you can type in to choose the genre. Maybe one of these days I'll show the back office since you mentioned it. But that's why I don't use Epidemic Sound. In fact, just so people may be thinking about this, why don't we just go look, right? This is what a lot of YouTubers, they use this themselves. And I do know they charge. And I was just like, I can get music. Why am I tripping with this? So, but here's the thing right here. Hold on. Let me get this up for you guys. Check this out. There you go. Royalty-free music for your videos. This is what a lot of people on YouTube use. It's simple. It's easy. Get the unlimited access to your music and sound effects catalog for your videos, streams, and podcasts. So now you know where everybody's getting it. But there's two different kinds, personal and commercial. And I don't know what they're going to call personal. I don't know what they're going to call. Well, I do know what they're going to call commercial normally. They're not letting me. I don't know what the cost is. Maybe Marrero would know. All content published during trial and active subscription will stay cleared forever. Yeah. Let me know if you know how much it is. Oh, here we go. So there it is. $9 a month, $108 a year, covered for YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and podcasts. So this is only $108. Monetize one channel per platform. See, this is the thing right here. So that $9 is out because if you like me, we have the SSN Lifestyle, and then I have some other stuff too. So it's not licensed for me to use on another name, but that's why I just generally buy from the guys directly. So then that way I can cross over, do whatever I want. And it's not $108. So I'm trying to think. I would show you, but here, $240 a year is not bad. Covered for social media, online platforms, and websites. Publish content for clients and businesses. Unlimited use in digital ads. That's major. $228 a year. I love it. And then, of course, you're going to be the big boys. You're going to have to request a quote covered for TV shows. Come on. That's going to be thousands. Could potentially be hundreds of thousands, but it's going to be 50,000, 20,000, 75,000, something like this, or 100. You just never know. So there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, like I say, a lot of people use it, but I don't really find a need since YouTube just gives me free music anyhow. So what I mean, let me see if I can actually show something. I can't remember where the music is. Let me generally, actually, you know, when it's kind of funny. When I play the Cruise on Land video, the original video has a song, has music in there. That music is copyright striked. So then I go and you can replace it. So I go to the YouTube free music and I replace it with one of their songs. And then I get approval. It's cleared because they removed that song and put in the song I chose. And then I download it. And so I change the music. That's why the music may or may not be right for the song. But like when I uploaded the Cruise on Land, I'll play it right now. I'm going to let you guys see it. Again, I changed the music. So here we go. Check out this Cruise on Land. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you get also assets to pay us. You buy something with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, and that's called real estate, pre-construction real estate, in the #1 tourist destination in the Caribbean, in Latin America, the Dominican Republic. They just broke a record of tourists for this year at 8.5 million. Unbelievably, no other country in the Caribbean gets more tourist visitors than them. #2 is Cuba, of all places. But buying at the #1 airport where 52% of all tourists who go to the Dominican Republic go through the Punta Cana airport, that means next year when they go over, their number will be around 8 million, 8.5 million tourists. Plus, they're going to add about another 1.5 from the cruise lines. But I don't care about cruise lines because they don't stay overnight. I care about, like this year, they had 7.2 million people go to the DR through the airports, tourists. You throw in the cruise, it came to 8.5. They're going to have 8.5 tourists this year on the airplane dropping in, and they're going to have about another 1.5 to 2 million cruise tourists. So they're going to approach 10 million in total, in my opinion. So if you know 52% of all visitors that go to the DR come through Punta Cana, and you know they're going to do 8 million, that means 4.5, 4.2, somewhere between those numbers, million is coming this year through to Punta Cana Airport. Now, that's it's a little under 100,000 people per month. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So I had to change the music, and it's free from YouTube in the back office. I was looking for it because, and there's other things you can do as well. So in fact, I'll just show you, Victor Marrero. Hold on a second. Let me figure out something. Let me see if I can actually find out, because I never really looked for music. But here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to show you something else that's very fascinating. Let me go to YouTube. I'll put it on the screen. Here we go. So what we do, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're new here, we do things on the fly, because you never know what direction we're going to do, and the stream keeps going. Make sure, please, you smash that like button. And we'll I'm going to put in a chat, free YouTube music. Wait. That's not what I really want. No copyright. I'm going to show you something. In fact, I should have just went to Leaf. I just should have went to KV. There's Epidemic Sound. Here, I'll do it this way. Here we go. Just give me a few seconds here. I'll go see KV Music Productions. I like this guy's music, right? So KV Music, which I'm not going to play, but it's going to come up. Whoa, that's not it. I don't think this is him. Oh my goodness. We got people using his info. Let me see if I can find him. Never mind. I'll find him. We'll go KV Leaf, one of his songs. So I'll show you what I'm referring to, Victor Marrero. So there's people that have like tracks, and one of them is this guy KV. I'm not going to play it because, well, it's probably going to play. But here's what I want to point out. Well, I actually can play it because he makes it easy for you. So you can use his music, and well, I'll just play right through this. This will be interesting. Come on now. What I do, here it is. I'll just show you more. Look, free download, HQ Audio. Okay, that's fine. Or buy on iTunes. That's fine. But that's not the thing. Here it is right here. Credit me in your video description. So for YouTube and Twitch, copy and paste. So if you're going to be on YouTube, you just copy and paste this, put it at the bottom of your description, or in your description, just like how he has this here. And if you're just using YouTube, you just have the free music. And I like his music, so you guys have heard it before, but didn't know who it was. But this is the guy, so I just put it down in there. So in production, I add his music, and then when we go to load it up into YouTube, at the bottom or within your description, you put this information right here, and they clear it. You won't have a copyright strike. All right, that's that simple. And here it is for Instagram and Facebook. He just wants the simple Leaf information. So Leaf by at KV Music Prod, PROD.com. So pretty simple, right? Not bad at all. So just give me an $200 idea, man. And there's other people that do this too, right? There's other artists that do this. So I'm gonna have to get this off the screen. What's happening here? Doesn't want to let go. That's funny. Can't let go. All right. So that's a little tip right there. So we went a couple of rounds We're over here making it happen, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour, 20 minutes in. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. If you're trying to get in the chat room and you can't, that's because on Wednesday night, it's members with the icon that can only be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch, you can join us, you can make comments or replay, but you're not going to be able to make comments right now. Right, I got, okay, there we go. There's facts. This is facts. Here we go. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial. He says it's similar to doctor making $500K. If he or she's not in his own practice, he's employee. You must become investor. Exactly. The internet, YouTube have opened the royalties to all. Exactly. Exactly. It's incredible. I love this era. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Curtis Davis at Victor Morrell at Curtis Davis, LL Cool J being an actor. That's nothing new. I've seen him on TV before, unless I got the wrong person. No, you got the right person. He was just saying he was a rapper in the I guess 80s, 90s, still is. And he saved Def Jam along with Warren G back in the day. At Curtis Davis at Victor Like Eric, I download tunes, pay $3.45, and then chop the tune. Exactly. 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 The theme music is chopped. Actually, the intro, that's actually a shorter version of the actual real song. And like he says, I just paid, yeah, like that, $4 or $5, whatever it was, and then I can use it indefinitely. And it's chopped up. And I'm trying to think if I actually have a version for you that I can play of the theme music, the whole thing. It's like 7 minutes long. It's more than what you guys are hearing. It's pretty cool. So now you can use it and you guys wouldn't even know because they changed it over just slightly, but it still sounds like the same theme music. Victor Morrell, I'm thinking about getting the whole year. You save money like that, doing the personal account. Yeah, I understand. 80, 90 bucks, whatever it is. It's worth it too, because that gives you a lot of flexibility. But I just like I like going around. At Curtis, I too download music via iTunes. But what do you mean chop tune? How do you get the iTunes paid music to your video? It doesn't allow for download. Oh, Victor Morrell, you could. Well, you could. You're not going to get approval. I'm just saying, not going to get approval. I don't think he's saying buy from the iTunes. I mean, download from iTunes, because you're going to have a copyright strike. Nice. I like that. Can you put the link on the chat? Which link? Which link? I missed it. You talking about KV, who has all his music? If you're talking KV, then I'll in the chat, or looking for the YouTube one. That's I don't know the actual link for that one. So I don't know. It's like, oh, what I do is go for by replacement. So that's why I don't know where the real music is for YouTube. But it's there. I just can't look. I'm gonna do this page for it. It used to be straight in center in the back off, and now it's kind of hidden. So I just Googled right now, and it's looking like, there we go, royalty free. No, that's videos. Yeah, this is videos. I can't find it. It's weird. They used to have it in their back office. But there's a lot of people on YouTube that give out royalty-free music. I'm just saying, not just KV. But let me know who you're referring to. Oh, KV? Then I put KV in the chat room for you. DJ E on Wheels of Steel and Mixed Beats. Oh, man. Don't even start with that, Curtis Davis. Don't even start. Don't even start. Victor. That Victor Mama said knock you out. That's right. Then he left to do NCIS. LA. Ice Cube left the rap game too. Exactly, because it's a hard game. You guys don't, a lot of people don't understand. These guys were only selling 200,000, 400,000, 500,000 albums back in the day. It wasn't like they were, not everybody were superstars, even though they seemed like superstars because they had all the trappings. But they were only selling 250, 300, 400, 500,000. Then there'd be one or two superstars selling 1 million, like Mama said, knock you out. So there would be the examples. Warren G goes to Def Jam to save them with his song, Regulators, things like that. Those sold millions, but that was the exception, not the rule. And so all these guys were like, their next albums, they get 300,000 sales, 400,000 sales. The labels like they're like, well, I'm doing all this work, running around doing concerts when I can be in LA on the set, getting pampered. Whether I want to drink, whether I want to eat, have fun in 80-degree weather, damn near all year long, and action. Remember a few lines, and then get paid $100,000 a week. I mean, that's a no-brainer with no recoup money, no nothing. I mean, come on. I'm taking that gig, $300,000 a week. You know, Will Smith, LL Cool J, all of them. They're saying hasta la vista. Hasta la vista. I'm going to go over here. All right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that KV. All right. I dropped that link. Eazy-E played the whole NWA crew, drinking wine and back, then gave game like little. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I couldn't be in the music business. Because I told the guys, they always begged me. They're like, hey, man, you're good at this. I said, I'm not that good. I said, I said, the only way I'm doing this is if I had a label myself. I got everything I'm running and give you guys what you should deserve, because if I have to work under and deal with all these crooks in this industry, I said I wouldn't get out alive because I'm going to be locked up. I'm going to shoot somebody. I mean, seriously, because all they do is rip off artists. I said, so even though I'm not an artist myself, if I'm friends and I bring them and we're trying to, and we're working together, and then next thing I know, we sign a deal and we go, where's our money after months go by, which is traditionally what happens. Then they're like, you're like, wait, I gotta pay rent. I got a house that I bought. What's going on? And you're begging for your money, and they're hemming and hawing after they have already collected the money. And they're telling you, well, go out on the road. You know, I'm just like, this, the way they do artists is ridiculous. It was way worse back in the day when there was no cameras. I'm just saying. I'll give you a story, in fact. So you guys know Jay's been on the channel before. Jay King. He makes music. He actually, because of his mom, became a solo artist, but he sings with Club Nouveau. Just to give you a little background in case you don't know. But he wrote the song Rumors, which most people know by Timex Social Club. He was actually involved with them. But of course, once they blew up, somebody comes in their ear and says, hey, man, why are you with these guys? Whatever. So then that breaks up. So that's how they start Club Nouveau, right? A new groove, right? In Club Nouveau. So anyhow, they have their Jealousy song, hit song. They have the Grammy that they won was Lean on Me. And they have a bunch of other songs that are on the charts. So now, Jay, we're both about 20 something, can't remember. And you know, when you're 20 something and you make money, you kind of have you're confident. You're like, you know, you're like not obnoxious, but confident. So he goes in to the record label and there's a problem. And at the time, one of his songs, I don't know if it was Situation Number 9, it might have been, or Heavy on My Mind, whatever it was in like the top 100 on the charts. It was somewhere like in the top 10, I believe, and going to one, right? It's in the top 10. Well, the music business is fickle. So anyhow, he goes in to see one of the executives he was at Warner Brothers. He goes in, he gets in an argument with them. And, he doesn't really curse. So I would have been like, F you. And he was like, oh, the executive's like, whoa, what? So whatever he said, the executive took offense to it. That song and that album off the shelf almost. Instead of that going to number 1 with a bullet, it's going to number 100 with a bullet because they pulled what they're gonna, they pay. It's payola, really, right? The labels are able to pay people, pull people, leverage things, and get it played. The guy made a phone call. The album's dropped like a hot rock because he got in an argument with the executive at Warner Brothers. That's how crazy things get. Real crazy. Real crazy. Oh, Victor, as far as beats, certain sites just provide 3-minute soundtrack beats for $4 or $5. Yeah. That's interesting too. I'll get into that. Yes, Regulators is a cold night. Warren G, that's right. That's it. Yo, Snoop Dogg was cold in deep. He followed Dr. Dre. He should have. Yes, all these rumors. That's it. So music business, straight rip off. You're best to be a solo artist, independent. You'll make more money as an independent if you actually make good music than you will being on a label. And a lot of people don't believe it because they want to be on a label. I'm telling you, there's more money to be made literally selling out the trunk of your CDs, or, well, you don't have CDs anymore, but CDs out the trunk of your car, because you're going to get 100% of the profit. If you're with a label, you're going to get nothing. They're recouping whatever they gave you, whatever loan they gave you, talking about they signed you. They didn't sign you. It's not like you got a signing bonus. You didn't. And this is why when guys are saying, I want to do these extravagant videos, and then after the video, they find out they have a hit song, and then they go, hey, where's my check? And they're like, hey, when you made that video, it was $150,000. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, oh, those cars that we rented, the camera guys, the clothes you were wearing. And oh, by the way, you had 3 dudes in your group and some of your friends were on set and they took those designer clothes and they took them home. Designer clothes, the ones they're flashing in the videos, right? You guys know those things are $5,000, $2,500, $10,000. All it takes is 5 of your boys to take 2 things. The next thing you know, you have $20,000 worth of clothing that they're putting on your books. The cars that was in there, they're charging $500, $1,000 for the day. Next thing you know, you then spent $100,000 creating this video, and your album just made $50,000 the first week. $100,000 it made after 3 months. And you're going, where's my check? And they're like, you don't have one coming. Sorry. We gave you $5 million in a 3-record deal. We're recouping our money. And by the way, you should get back to the studio because you need to start thinking about album number 2. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy. The music artist, like on a label, like a job. Exactly. It's straight up. It's worse than a job, quite frankly. It's convenient to do a deal, but you fail to perform 3 albums. Artists are not counting the production costs. This is a busted business deal. Exactly. And then they have their producers. I mean, it's a cold world. They have their producers come in and they say, okay, you're going to use our producers because they've made a few hits. And then when you get your bill, you're like, what do you mean the producer costs $150,000? What is this? What is all this? What do you mean my video was 100,000? That's 250,000. We sold 1 million albums. Where's my money? Well, see, you owe us like $300,000. That part of our deal says you get 20% of whatever album sales, let's say. And that's only $200,000. So you still owe us another 100,000. So you have no checks coming. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So be independent if you're an artist out there. Put in your work. This is too easy. Too easy. All the information for the music business is here. It's online. You can get it. You're in the music biz. You should talk to people. You know, it's pretty basic. Copyright your songs. Sign up with ASCAP, BMI, one of those, right? Or there's other organizations as well. Sign up with them so they check your royalties anytime your music's being played. Start out the box with all that lined up first so somebody can't steal your songs, right? That's the first thing you need to do. Make sure you open up your own publishing company. Second thing you need to do. So therefore, you assign all your songs, all your publishing goes to your songs. Keep it all that way. So then if you want to give up your publishing, you can sell it to somebody. And then if you're actually a great artist, you don't have to be great. Let's just say you have some mid hits, right? You have songs that people love. Somebody calls you up and says, hey, can we put this in a movie or TV show or whatever, commercial? You get to say, send me a check for 50 grand. So I'm just saying, the music biz is crazy. But that's how you get royalties. That's how you get publishing. That's how you get asset money. And you can always sell it like Lil Wayne for $100 million when he's selling his stuff for Drake, Nicki Minaj. $100 million. No problem, he said. Give me my $100 million. No problem. $100 million is a lot of money. A lot. All right. You remember LL Cool promoted FUBU for nearly free, and he's a billionaire now. Exactly. Exactly. Curtis Davis is coming up with some of that Northeast love. Here's the thing. What most people don't know. LL Cool J is doing a video shoot for his album. Damon John, because he lives in New York in the neighborhood, he says, hey, man, where my FUBU stuff? He only has like 3 or 4 FUBU items. Oh, where my stuff in your video? And LL Cool J was so cool about it. He was wearing the FUBU gear. Next thing you know, 1 video, 2 videos, walking around, people are like, wow, where's this FUBU stuff at? That's how it all started, with only had like 2, 3, 4 items. And thanks to LL Cool J, Henny was about to hang it up. Damon John, it's that close. He was that close to saying, I'm out of money, forget about it. And he finagled everything at the right time. His mom hung in there, his family hung in there. He was there sewing everything at the house. The story, he should give this story to everybody, because he was out there about to give up. And then he said he's out of capital. So then he puts an ad in a paper, because in New York they have buy a business, invest in businesses. Well, he got somebody to give him some money so then his production could keep going. That's how close he was to giving up. And then the rest is history at that point, because of the FUBU, like he says. It's a very, very cool how that happened. Music deal. Like you slave, get back into the studio. Exactly. That's literally what they do. All right. I listened to the documentary about the transition of pensions to and how we, the workers, got shafted by companies and CEOs. Sickening how companies marketed their 401k down our throats. Exactly. Actually, yeah, the pensions are done. They're not even liquid. The 401k system is a joke. And now we're finding out that all these so-called regulated companies like the banks and these 401k systems, they're thieving as well. They're taking people's money out of the system and trying to use it and leverage it somewhere else. And apparently the regulators are all good. No problems. And now we have situations where people can't get their money out of banks. We knew this was coming. I told you, we knew it's coming. They don't have any money. But nobody listens. Tribe Called Quest used to make songs about record biz, more soup. Exactly. 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 So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you guys to understand we want to get assets that pay you, that pay us. How are you going to do that? Now we're talking songs, we're talking books, we're talking other avenues that you can use along with the YouTubes, the TikToks, excuse me, and everything else. This is a beautiful time you get to live in. And I'm just going to say this, it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever because everything is going to be automated eventually. And then it's going to get even crazier. How are you going to monetize something that's automated and everybody can do it? Right? So you're going to have to be special in some way, or something new is going to come out. Everything is a revolution. Right now, you can get paid on all these platforms until you can't one day. Then you're going to have to transition into something else. So now is the time when you're making money to invest in assets that's going to pay you and says, hey, I'm going to pay you this royalty for 10 years. Or we don't know what it's going to be, but you signed up where I'm going to get a 10-year royalty. Or like I showed at the beginning, 30-year royalties, like that Drake featuring Drake song with, I believe it was Roy Wood. Again, I had never heard of the guy. That is an interesting situation there. The Plies one, interesting situation with Little Baby, right? So that's very interesting that you can get in. And then there's shares that they have at Songfest. That's very interesting that for a couple $100 you can invest in musicians. And so that puts you in a whole different category that if you do get lucky, it's like I call it lucky because in the music biz, you never know what's going to happen. What you think may be a hit song is not, and what you hear sometimes you're like, that can't be a hit song. Why are they playing this? So you just never know really what's going to happen. But if you find an artist that actually doesn't, like that Nas is giving out parts of his for a few, well, it started at $100, then 350, then 10,000. He gives different percentages and deals based on that. But all I'm saying is that's very, very interesting. And in the ones regarding royalty exchange, they already are saying this is how much it comes in every year. They already tell you $27,000 per year. You do this enough, next thing you know, you have $100,000 a year coming in from royalties. It could be some other, it doesn't have to be music, but we're using music tonight just to let everybody know, earn more. So you're making money, then you're using some more money to invest in royalties, and you know royalties are coming in because they're coming in already. And then so when somebody gives you a 10-year or 30-year royalty deal, yes, it might cost you a little bit of money, but you know what's coming in right now. And 9 times out of 10, I would choose a Cardi B song, right? But I'm not going to pay the $250,000 for it. But all I'm saying is there's other artists who are very good, and because their album or their song didn't reach, platinum, millions sold, 5 million sold, 3 million sold, whatever, they don't get the same royalties, but the song is very well known. And then all of a sudden it's played in a movie, right? Next thing you know, somebody cut a check, and one of the checks was for $50,000 for that song. And that's part of the royalties. Make sure you check that out and make sure that's what you get. But all I'm saying is now that's part of the annual royalty, and you're loving life. You're like, wow, this is great. And because you actually also own the royalty, especially if you have a lifetime and you have songwriters royalty, you're going to want to promote it, right? You're going to be sending it to the movie studios. You're going to be sending it to the commercial guys, right? Radio, TV. Hey, play this, man. Check this out. This should be in one of your movies. You're going to be doing it. So it's very, very funny how that works, right? But yeah, that situation. If you guys don't already know, the pensions have been fleeced already. So, geez. It's been already fleeced. And what's been happening now, uh, Wells Fargo, these guys, I told you guys before, don't mess around with Wells Fargo and Bank of America. All right, just don't do it. If you have serious funds, don't mess around. They've been taking they took my money once, both each. And again, it wasn't significant amounts. It was only, like I said, I can remember one time it was 2,000, 2,500. And I opened up an account and the money's gone. And they're telling me and another guy opened up an account at the same time. So we had the same account number. And I'm like, and what? He took my money. What do you think? I'm showing up here arguing because I took the money? I said, I didn't even have any checks. It's crazy. And they threw me out. No solution. Call the police, call the cops. Hey, this guy's got to get out of here. I'm like, what do you mean? Where's my money? So they were off limits. And both companies did that to me. So ever since then, I don't keep money in the bank anyhow that much. A little bit. But anytime money comes, I just take it out. Even when I do real estate deals, it's very funny. I'll be at the closing table. I haven't done one in a long time, but all I'm saying, back in the day, my friends would come with me because I'd bring my friends because a lot of people didn't buy real estate at the time. So they would never understand what I was doing. I would tell them, hey, man, I'm going down here to do this. I'm going to flip this and do that. And then I'm going to do a double closing. And all this was foreign language to them. So then I said, oh, just come with me down to the closing office and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because, on the closing paper, it tells you, it outlines how everybody's getting paid and where the money's going. So then I get there and then they are in the conference room, and they slide an envelope over to me. And my friends are all like, that's it? I said, well, I told you about the first part and the culmination of that. Now that's it. So then I shoved the envelope to him and I said, okay, look at the envelope, see how much it is. So it could be 30,000, it could be 50,000, whatever it is. So then they say, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, back in the day when they used to have money in the bank, I would be like, I'm going to their bank right now. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, yeah. They're like, you're going to carry this type of money around? I said, why? Somebody going to rob me or something? I was just like, what are you talking about? Of course I'm carrying this kind of money around. It's nobody suspect I have 50 G's on me. I drive a car that's worth $2,000. What are you talking about? So we go to the bank. They're with me. I just say, hey, give me my 50 G's. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bird. That's going to be, can you give us 15 minutes? I said, okay, the last 10, you can write a cashier's check. I don't care. I'll take that. Just give me like 40 G's. They'd be like, all right, give us 15 minutes. They pack it up, do whatever they got to do. It's not going in the bank. Not going in the bank. Not going to happen. So not going to work. I don't deal with banks well. The bank should have initiated an investigation, giving you credit. No, not even. Once it was resolved, they should have credited your account back. Exactly, Victor Morel. Actually, you know what? That situation was so wild. That's exactly what I said. I was saying it. I said, here's the investigation, Victor Marrero. The investigation, they knew while I'm there in the first 30 minutes, they come back and tell me, Mr. Bird, I'm sorry. You and another guy 40 miles away, 45 miles away at another branch, when you opened up your account, you and him so happen to have the same account. I'm like, okay, great. Where's my money? They said, well, it looks like you took the money out. I'm like, okay. So let me ask you something. How is it that I'm here asking for my money and I'm arguing, yelling, and screaming? How is it? Call the other branch and ask them if that guy came in asking where his money is. All right. So please, clearly he wrote the checks and took the money out because he knew he didn't put the money in there. Clearly. I'm like, what the heck? I said, I haven't written but one check, and here it is. The check was like, I don't even know, $300, $250 or something minor. And I was like, this is crazy. So you already know that I opened up a bank account here and here's my deposit receipt. So clearly I put the money in. So what are you talking about? Well, Mr. Bird, we got to check this out further. I'm like, further? And that's when things went crazy. Because remember, I'm not playing with these guys. I think I'm like, you know, at the time, I'm like running Sacramento, literally. All right. We're doing some things. So I didn't take too kindly to that, even though it was not, I mean, it was a small amount, like I said, 2,000, 2,500, something like that. I started a new business and I just needed to pay some bills, $50, $100, $200, whatever it was. So it wasn't nothing major. But when I went there and they're acting stupid, nah, they had to call police, security, do all that. It was resolved on the spot, but they refused to give me my money back. I had to actually go to court to try or have a letter sent by a lawyer to the place. They still wouldn't give me the money. So anyhow, long story short, never got the money back, threw me out. I'm banned. Well, at the time, not now, but at the time, banned, can't come back in there, trespassed, all this crap. It was bad. It was bad. Very bad. And Bank of America and Wells Fargo did crap. Bank, I can't remember which, I think that was Bank of America. And Wells Fargo just straight up took the money. They straight up was like, what money? And I'm showing them at my deposits, balances, and everything. I'm like, what do you mean? What money? Is this a joke? Stop playing. So after that, Wells Fargo, B of A, they can't see me. US Bank can't see me. US Bank, actually, they got in a lawsuit over this. Money's in the bank. They're sending fees to my bank, alleged free checking account. After about 8 months, I go down to US Bank. I'm just like, hey, I need to take out like a couple $1,000s. They're like, Mr. Bird, you don't have anything in here. I go, what are you talking about? I got free checking. I threw in like 5, 6 G's or something. They're like, you got fees. I'm like, what fees? What are you talking about? I don't have fees for anything. Free checking. There's no fees. So US Bank's on the list too. Crazy stuff. No resolution. Forgot about US Bank until now. I've adopted that strategy. I no longer keep all my money in the bank. Exactly, Laverne Penix. You can't afford it. Can't afford it. They're thieves. I've known there have been thieves for a long time. Now, the only look, I have Chase too, but they're not, never had an issue. But again, I don't keep money in the bank. Period. I don't even care about being with the VIP services. I'm like, no, it's not worth it. Because next thing I know, you guys taking 200,000 or something. I'm pissed. We got problems. We have weapons. We got problems. I'm a bad guy. We got problems. Come home to Chase. We'll give you points. Come home to Chase. The power of compounding will amaze you. Yeah, exactly. Hey man, no, I like Chase, man. They're cool. But like I said, US Bank, which I forgot all about them clowns, they're off limits, but then they turned out to be, they're not everywhere you want to be anyhow. But somebody, TD Ameritrade in Florida edition, they messed up one of my friend's accounts. Same similar thing. Took his money. He had like 10 G's in the bank. Next thing you know, he walks in and he said something like, yeah, I need 2,000. And they're just like, what? You don't have no money in here. And he's doing the same thing. I said, dude, I've already been around this block. That's what they do. They just don't do it to 20, 30 million people. They do it to like whatever they figure. I don't know how they figure the number, but probably, 20,000 people, 50,000 people. But when you start doing 20,000, 50,000 people a year, and you're taking 10 G's, 50 G's, 40 G's, all of a sudden, that's millions. That's not just a little bit, that's millions. It gets crazy. But Victor Marrero with the joke of the night. Come on to Chase. We'll give you a 0.01% annual interest. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. It's almost 2 hours in. It's been a sterling night again, I hope. Hopefully, I gave you something to think about. Instead of going out here wasting your money, think about it. You go out to dinner these days, and you're sitting there going out to eat, get a couple drinks. Next thing you know, your bill's over $100. And you're sitting here with opportunities to potentially buy into artists, buy into the music biz, buy into getting royalties for potentially 20, 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, what a world we live in where this could actually happen and you could participate in some of this. The NOS was $99, $349, and $10,000. And oh, let me know if anybody knows this song that he was doing. Let me go look it up again. What was it? It was at Royal.io. And it's what's this song? NOS. It's called Rare. Rare. I can't believe it. I don't know if it's out or what, because it doesn't tell you what you receive. And it's saying royalties of a certain, it's 1%, it looks like, which is a joke. But for $100, I don't see a problem. Or this might be already sold out, so I don't know. Another one was $327, and they're giving you a higher percentage of the royalty. So that's pretty interesting. But anyhow, we're going to close this off. 400 tokens, initial 499, 324. So I don't know how they actually do that, but nonetheless, just want to show you guys you can get in. And oh, by the way, just so you guys understand, there's artists who come out all the time and they have albums. They're independent artists. They're coming out and they're doing albums. And I've actually invested in independent artists that not like this, but out just like a normal business thing. They're saying, I want to come out, and they're like, I'm trying to do this and I need like this. And I'm like, oh, you need like 5 Gs? Then I need something. I'm going to get a point from you or something. They're like, yeah, man. I'm like, okay. And it even goes even further, because most of the time they're just like, actually, this is how I'm going to get it back. They're like, I'm going to do a few shows and stuff. So I'm going to give this back to you, and I'll give you like 3 times as much or whatever. Sometimes I've done that deal. I've done all kind of stuff, you guys. So tonight it's music. That's why I've touched into the music biz a little bit. All right. What's the verdict with your DR properties? I plan to do a long weekend trip there before October to check things out. Got a video of the property early this week. Verdict, the beach. I'm taking a bath. The Panorama guys, I'm a free agent. Their money's coming. It's wired. They sent it. So free agent. So it's Larimar, Cruise on Land. I'm having a hard time picking because Cruise on Land, I thought Larimar because of it's always luxury, but Cruise on Land, I just love what they got going on over there. So much stuff. So that's the 2 choices. Haven't made a decision yet, but I'm busy with some other things as well. So I'll make a decision. I'm not in any rush. First of all, let me get into something else regarding, there's new projects that have come out where they have 2 bedrooms under $100,000 in Punta Cana, not in Macau, in Punta Cana. I'm just like, holy smokes. What are these guys doing? It's almost like they pulled an okie doke. Now, it's not inside Vista. Well, wait, there is one inside Vista Cana, but I don't know where it is. It's anonymous. But all the other ones are outside of Vista Cana, they're not in a community. I don't know exactly where they are, but they have some new stuff that came out, and they have a few amenities there. You guys know I'm a big fan of amenities. So I was like, hold on a second. What's going on here? Under 100 G's, a 2-bedroom. I like it. I'm loving it. in a complex with amenities, and it's security gated. I'm like, okay, where are these at? One's off the freeway, by the way, over by Cocotel. I couldn't believe it, which means it's near Kathmandu. Oh, and Kathmandu Park. Oh, I'm dropping a video tomorrow about Cruise on Land, but it's getting crazy. Okay, you got a video of the property. You mean Galaxy? But there's nothing at Galaxy other than the first building. Or are you saying the next building down? They because they haven't even finished the first one, I don't think, right? I just can't see how they're going to be done. I don't see it. Just like I got pictures of Panorama Park today from somebody that's there, a guy here, Mr. Urena. He also owns at the park at Panorama Park in Vista Cana, and they got bricks just put up in the first row. And then I got a message from another SSN Nation member who bought inside Panorama. He bought Panorama Park. So that's two people now that I know. I didn't know about the other guy that lives in Germany that he bought in Panorama Park. He told me that they told him that Panorama Park was going to be ready March 2023. I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but that is not happening. They have the first, in fact, Mr. Cool and Mrs. Cool was over there and they showed the dirt at the time. Now the Panorama Park, they do have a couple rows up, but I was like, there is nobody moving over there by March 2023 at Panorama Park. That's not going to happen. So I sent him pictures because I just got pictures today and I said, wow, what a coincidence. And Julio Urena, thank you very much for the pictures. But I showed them and I'm like, nobody can live there. This is still bricks and rebar. So you don't have to think you're going to be buying anything or having to get a loan in the next 2 months. I said, they're not going to be done for a year. If that, there is no way they can make this happen in 6, 7, 8 months. There's no way. And after you go through hurricane season, there's just no way it's going to happen. It'll be next year. Yes, it was supposed to be this year, Panorama Park, Panorama Lake, but there's no way. It just can't happen. Just made my night. I'm glad things worked out with the beach. You know the deal with the prices if you wait too long. No, the beach, it didn't work out. No, I'm taking an L. That's one of my problems right now. I'm taking an L at the beach. The Panorama guys are like, yeah, here's your money. It's coming back because we get to charge probably 200 G's for the unit. So they were happy. But hey, we can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm in a construction video of Galaxy. They're moving full blast, finishing the underground parking before they go vertical. Oh, yeah, I think, did you send me the underground parking? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, they have to. And the reason why they have to do that is almost like underground parking in Florida. I'm just like, I'm just going to tell you like it is. I don't feel comfortable with underground parking on an island. In low, I just don't. I'm just like, man. So that means they have to reinforce it on all kind of levels because they're about to put up some big structures. And I don't never like it. I mean, it's going to be cool if it up, but I just don't like digging. Victor, in fact, I don't know where you lived in Puerto Rico, Victor Marrero, but if you ever started digging in Puerto Rico and you lived in a certain area, you would know you can't dig down too far. I'm just saying. Same in Florida on the coast. It's like you start digging down too far, all of a sudden we got problems. So that's what I always think about when you're on an island. I'm just like, how far are you digging down here? This is not good. But underground parking is cool. I will say that. It's going to be cool. So hopefully they're bringing it underground means they're on level 1. And then they're just stacking up or something. I don't know what it really means, but all I'm saying is that's cool. I'm glad they're doing it, but it wasn't anywhere near. I didn't even think they laid down concrete yet. So again, I'm I'm skeptical on anybody saying Panorama Garden is going to be done in 2023. I'm skeptical on anybody saying the Galaxy is going to be done by, let's say, June of 2024. I just don't see none of this happening. None of this happening. And there's new projects coming too. Where are they getting all these people? I don't know, but it's going to be pretty crazy. All right, 14. We're in here 2 hours. Smash the like button. Hopefully my audio has been awesome because, you know, we got the real audio this time. Next thing you know, I'm going to have to get a blue screen back here, get some lights up, start making it like a studio up in here. I thought I was only going to be here for a short time, so I didn't prepare, but I guess it's time we actually make a real studio, actually come into being a podcast YouTuber for real. Let's do it. But yeah, thanks for sending the videos and the updates as well. I think you sent me the video of the underground parking. But again, they got a long way to go. A long way to go. And they have to build the other ones too. You know, space, which they're doing that too. I mean, they're busy there. So that's good to hear though, because recently they had hardly anybody there doing anything. So this is great news. Because don't worry, Victor Morrell, you're going to be, well, again, everybody's going to be fine. 2024, can you imagine 10 million, 9 million to 9.5 million tourists coming to the DR by air and 4.5 to 5 million people coming through Punta Cana Airport? That will be awesome. Kathmandu Park will be done. Did you guys? Oh man, I got to show. I wish I had video. I saw some video of Kathmandu Park. They already started. They got rides there and everything. It's pretty sweet. I mean, it hasn't opened up or anything, but I mean, they've already got rides in. They've got stuff already happening. They're probably going to finish Kathmandu Park by the end of this year or something. It's going to be very, very cool. Yeah, I hear you. No, they are actually digging a hole. The lobby will be at the same level as the Hard Rock lobby. The cool thing is it will be secured parking with a gate. That will be cool. I like that. I like secured parking. I like all of that because you never know what's going to happen. But that's cool. Is Galaxy the only one that has underground parking, or do all of the place, or does Space, or I guess Space is almost a similar type build, or Terra? Because the other places like Cana Rock condos, you park outside. I'm trying to think. Cana Beach. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's how we do it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my contribution this evening, talking about music, royalties, rights, publishing, a piece of an artist and their music. Talk about something that's different. Talk about assets. Talk about assets that could pay you for 10 years. That's the agreement if you take the royalties, or 30-year or lifetime of royalties. That is pretty cool, even though they go down. But I'm just going to tell you another story, then I'm going to let you go. Yes, Galaxy is the only one. Oh, wow. That makes it extra nice. That's always cool, underground parking. So last story, then we're going to cut out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So as you guys know, in fact, I did the intro video. If anybody saw the intro video, there's a guy that is talking with the lady, and he's saying, I think in the video he's saying it. He's saying he's a comedian. He used to go to Playboy Mansion all the time, or perform with Hugh Hefner in Chicago and the After Dark. And that's when he's saying, yeah, that's when he used to pay you. You know what I'm saying? And doing that. So all I'm trying to say is I forgot what I was going to tell you. But anyhow, he's doing some things. Well, he passed away, unfortunately. But I was going to give you a story. Oh, okay. Yeah, the story. So he's sitting there. He's a comedian. Right? But in like late 1960s, he writes a song with Johnny Guitar Watson, and it becomes a hit song, and he's credited as being a writer. Now, because of the era back then, the royalties was going to Johnny Guitar Watson. Johnny Guitar Watson passes away. Now, he doesn't pass away in the 70s or 80s or 90s. I believe it was somewhere in the 2000s. After he passes away, he still should get his royalties, but the family won't cut checks, so he doesn't get royalties anymore from it. And then ultimately, Ronaldo passed away like probably 5 years ago. Unfortunately, he was a great guy. So that is how crazy. We're talking about from the early 70s, 80s, 90s. That's 30 years he's getting a check. 35 years he was getting a check for something he helped a musician do. And he's not a musician himself. Is that crazy? I love it. I love it. He was getting checks the whole time. It's crazy. 30, probably over 30 years, because I think it was like early 70s, and then it was, I can't remember when Johnny Guitar Watson passed away, but it's probably early 2000s. So yeah, it was 30 some years. He's getting checks. Unbelievable. Right place, right time. All right. So now, right place, right time, whole different era. You guys know the playbook. Get those assets, get that money coming in, even if it's kibbles and bits. Kibbles and bits adds up. Like I said, Michael Jackson, he started out buying a few of the songs, publishing. A little publishing here, little publishing there. Few more publishing here, keep stacking. Next thing you know, he owns 50% of the catalog. Next thing you know, he has lots of money coming in every month. Same thing you can do by getting the royalties, publishings, anybody that's selling theirs, and they could be 20, 30, 40, well, lifetime rights. Dolly Parton's giving away lifetime rights to one of hers royalties. So we're talking, you know, if you get $20,000 a year and you $10,000 a year, even $5,000 a year, and you do that 5 or 6 times, that's a nice little 30, 40,000 that you don't have to work a day in your life ever. And now you understand why the executives of these music and movie studios and all that, why they get to live the high life, right? Like Spelling, right? Aaron Spelling, when he builds this mega mansion for no reason. I mean, in Hollywood, he has TV shows on. He's the producer. He makes the shows, writer, and everything. Dude was making who knows how much. Seriously, if they're giving the actor or actresses $200,000 a week, how much do you think he's making? $1 million a week, $2 million a week, has 5 shows on. Come on, this is crazy. Crazy stuff. All right, enough. That's why we leverage, ladies and gentlemen. We turn things into derivatives around here. That's why we buy real estate at no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, pre-construction. This is why we have you on the right track. The value of the property is skyrocketing, or will skyrocket soon as they stop building, which won't be anytime soon, but just keep them tourists coming in. Those tourist numbers, make sure they keep rising. We'll all be happy, because when they reach 13, 14 million a year coming in, woo, this is Victor Marrero territory now at Margaritaville, Orlando. When you're going to be able to charge people $300, $400, $500, and you're going to be sitting there going, man, I'm glad I bought this thing for $150,000. Glad I bought this thing for $100,000. Glad I bought this thing for $70,000, $80,000. When you're getting 30, 40% return every year on your investment, you're going to be very, very happy. And everybody's a winner. So I'm very happy about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up tonight. Nothing else to talk about. And I will leave it with this, just so we have a little fun, because we got to play some more of that theme music. Somebody's sitting here like, what's he keep talking about? All right, we'll play a little bit some of that theme music. I think that's what it was. So we'll go back to, let me see. We'll go here. We'll go to the Grand Ole Opry.
Come on, come on.
Oh yeah, boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little reminder, what are you working for? What are you working your ass off for? Just so you can come back to work again and then come back again? No, that is not the object of the game. Object of the game is work your ass off, but make sure that you actually have the extra revenue, the disposable income coming in so you can actually have extracurricular activities, fun for all, and do the things that you want to do in life where you don't have to sit there and say, oh, I have to wait because I don't have enough money. That's the mostly what people say, right? They're like, I don't have enough money. I can't do it. You know, I don't want to do it. I can't afford to do it, right? So that's the thing that you want to avoid. You want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I think this is kind of cool. Let me go check this out. Life experiences, and then you forget as you get older, right? You forget. I just got some more pictures, found some more pictures of stuff that I forgot about. So again, there's going to be, we went up, what do I have here? I have 12. Yeah, there's 12. So needless to say, there's going to be the SSN lifestyle. There's going to be probably 14. There's going to be another 2 coming out in the next 30 days. I just don't want to put it together because that's extracurricular time when I'm putting those together. So, but there'll be another 2 coming out. Found some more pictures. So very, very interesting. No social media back in the day. So, you know, pictures are found. So we'll find out what's going to happen with that. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Much appreciated. And I noticed no glitch tonight, no problems. So I'm very happy. It looks like the computer's operating fine. The mic, I hope, is operating exceptionally well, as it should be. It's the professional type now. So we're going to have to upgrade. Now we're going to have to get the blue screen. No more t-shirts in the background. Go to stopstrugglingnow.com if you like any of these that I'm wearing. Different colors. That's the F average. Be legendary on that side. And we have hats too. I didn't bring any in here, but nonetheless. So I'm going to change the background, go a little more exotic, shall we say, and that'll be interesting. So let's see what goes down, ladies and gentlemen. See you on Friday night, I hope, 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll talk about some other ways to create derivatives, other ways to start your own business. And if you're going to start a business, make sure you do Opus Virtual Office. Do not start your LLC out inside your home. That would not be recommended. That's why I recommend Opus Virtual Office. The link is down below in the description. Get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull down below. Should have mentioned it earlier, but here we are. Get also earn free Bitcoin with CryptoTab. Check that out. That's down below as well. A lot of goodies down below as always. And we'll be talking about, of course, the $5,000 cash flow NFT. And oh, by the way, Laverne Penix, if you're still here, I don't really know what's going on. I've been checking with the Debtbox node and trying to figure out. I've been sending messages to support, never getting return messages. I keep hearing that they're giving us credits. Everything's fine. I'm just like, everything's not fine. I said, I want to know what's going on. They're like, we changed up a little bit. I'm like, okay, hold on. I know if you buy a license now, you get 1 year of credits. And I'm like, well, if you got something 5 months ago, how come we're not getting 1 year of free hosting then? Same thing. So all I'm saying is, so far, it's still mining though, so I don't know what's really going down. But nonetheless, trying to get to the bottom of it, and we'll get to the bottom of it hopefully this week. And again, thank you everybody for being here. And once again, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but again, Star Cruiser Falcon 2, written by Duran Drake family. And there's a Star Cruiser Falcon 1, which is on Kindle, ebooks. Down below in the description, there's links. They are inexpensive enough. Show some love to my brother. He put this together. It's sci-fi, ladies and gentlemen. And check it out. Maybe that'll move him to bring out another production. All right. Showing some love. You know, I rarely talked about, I think I've talked about this like 4 times in 4 years. Because I tried to get him on, but he won't come on apparently. So anyhow, why not still show some love? Go check out my brother's books, Kindle, whatever you want to do. Show some love, please, and order it up. And don't forget, write a review. Really, I mean, whatever you think, tell the truth, right? If you think it's decent, if it's good, if you don't think it's good, just say what it is. All right. So there we go. And then maybe I can push him to get to that number 3. So then that way we'll be on track for a movie. All right. And speaking of that, why don't we have a new adventure, right? Speaking of that, so I sent H.M. Cokley. In fact, hold on, guys. This is it right here. Let me show. Let me see when this was. Cleveland, yeah, the Cleaver family reunion. That was it. I'm going to put this on the screen. Show some love to H.M. Cokley. All right. I sent him a message today, so hopefully he gets back in touch with me, because the Sundance Music Festival it's happening right now. But the bulk of it happened last Thursday through Monday, even though it's going to run till the end of this week. But they have Sundance Film Festival now, and then there's another film festival on the West Coast, usually right after it. So usually people leave on Monday or Sunday, but Sunday is when they have the awards. And then on Monday, most people leave, but some people leave on Sunday because they know who's going to get their awards. But anyhow, the story goes, Cleaver family reunion. This is who's in it. All right. Made in 2013. And like I said, Miss Sassy Carter has her music played, and it only got 2 stars. Not that good. Has her music played. And when this is played on, here it is, Tubi, Pluto, Peacock, Roku, and all these other options, Vudu, Pluto, still getting paid, just like he's still getting paid. All right. So that's the beauty of when you make products such as video, music, and even if you're an artist for painting or anything like that, you can always get paid over and over again, especially if it's in a gallery or something. So it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. So again, hopefully I gave you a little something to think about, some ways to get some extra revenue in your pocket by making small investments, not large. I mean, you have an option to do larger, but you know where to go now. No excuses. There's other places you can get into publishing and royalties as well. So maybe I'll do another video after a year where I'll show you not just Royalty Exchange, not just Songfest. We'll get into some other places. All right. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure to take care of yourself and keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.